your girl Tay Marie, and we back on Soul Food Podcast. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, and it's episode 12. Okay, it's episode 12. Okay, and today this title is called resisting change. So we're gonna get into that, but you already know. Let me shout out my viewers. Thank you for the love and support that you guys give. Thank you for coming back to Soul Food Podcast and tuning in with your girl. And you already know, shout out to that sponsor. Shout out to my business, Define Cosmetics. Shout out to Define Cosmetics, okay? It's my self-care line. You already know, tap in with your girl. Tap in with your girl. And while y'all at it, go on Soul Food Podcast. That's SOULFOOD pod POD_CLE. You already know. And I want you guys to tap on the links to answer the question of the week, but also to shout out your business. Yeah. Shout out your business so I can shout you out, because you already know we spreading the wealth in the community. So let's get into it, y'all. The first question that I have is, why do we resist change even when we know it's necessary? What I wrote down was, people fear the unknown and are comfortable with the habits they have and the lifestyles that they live. So let's use it as like you are in a situation where you live with your significant other. Whatever y'all situation is, overall you live with your significant other. I'm comfortable here. I know this person. I've been dealing with them for so and so years. Even though we go through our ups and downs, everybody's gonna go through their ups and downs. I can deal with it as long as I can still, keep things under wraps, and I only know about it, or nobody's gonna confront me on it, or I'm not gonna really talk about it with people. But somewhere inside of me is showing me, telling me I can have different. The first point on that is the role that fear plays in resisting change. For this example, this person is in a situation where they're comfortable where they are. What I said was, because they feel like I still have this, and even though the people surrounding me may not have it, I will deal with it. I will handle it the way I can, or can survive it, or whatever, as long as I have what it's giving me, as long as I can still maintain whatever it is that I want to maintain. Why do you think if you change, you still want to maintain that? Why do you think that the people around you aren't just telling you what you need to hear? Just like most single people say, I'm single by choice. Some people may be single because they just aren't good with relationships, aren't good with people, aren't ready to really fully get into something themselves. But some people are just like being careful, taking the time out to get to know themselves and what they are willing to deal with, really be present in their dating life. You may have somebody in your life like that that's telling you, no, you're just settling for this guy because of whatever. I feel like, yeah, you got a man, but I know if you give up this one, you will have an even better one that actually does this for you, or is there for you. You don't have to call and get angry at him. You don't have to do this or that with her to get her to act right. This person that could be out here waiting for you is still waiting for you. But you got to let go of this to even find that to be possible. Change brings uncertainty to people because you just feel like there's nothing better than this, when it truly is. I'm in that point of my life where I don't think I'm truly ready to date yet, because I'm still trying to work on myself. For myself, to show myself I love myself, I went over my first hurdle, and I'm very proud of myself for getting through that and continuing to do that for myself, because me showing up for myself and me making myself happy right now is truly all I can control and all I need right now. Because once I get into the motion of continuously filling up my cup, eventually I'll be ready for somebody else. And I truly believe that the person that's right for me will then truly walk through my door. I'm sorry I'm saying truly a lot, but like, it won't be like how it was before, like, oh, I believe that this is good for me. This time I am gonna go with the flow, and going with the flow is also going into this flow with a better mind and knowing which way to go, which voice to hear, the outside or the one that's truly put in me to protect me, you know. Like, in this period of time, I feel like God has brought me into this phase of like, I need you to stay at home. And knowing me, I love not even being out in the scene, but I just love going out, having a good time, socializing, dancing a little bit, you know, maybe walking around the city, you know, just having a little vibe, just feeling free for a moment. The next topic is just recognizing when God is speaking. Like, I know that sounds weird to people, and really I don't care, because like, you know, growing up and peeping stuff, I used to just think things were coincidence. But then I also learned that coincidence don't happen, man. Like, things happen for a reason, you know. I feel like I've seen it too many times now to believe that. And you know, I'll sit here and say, like, I truly do need to be deeper in my Bible than I already feel like I'm not. But when it comes to, you know, getting in his word, and when I do, you know, reach for my Bible and see what's really going on, it teaches me a whole lot. Like, even right now, just talking about this conversation right now, resisting change, and last week it was letting go, you know. It's been the hardest thing ever, and I've been resisting it for a very long time because I felt like I could fix it. It's cool if I be a better friend, if I be a better girlfriend, if I be a better daughter, if I be a better sister, if I be a better niece, if I be a better cousin. But you see, that's when I realized that I was doing too much and losing myself in the process. I was losing myself. I was stressing myself out. I was trying to control the narrative. And I had to back up and realize, like, hey, I gotta care for me. Because when it came down to needing somebody like me, I did not have that until God brought that friend along. And I broke down and ugly cried with her on her shoulder, slobbing. And I thank God for her. She know who she is. She know who she is. And I thank God for you. I was very lost in, shoot, for real, 2019 up until 2024. For real. You know, I still was trying to grab at the things that wasn't in my life. And even in the moments where I just felt bad, like, shoot, I haven't even reached out to this person. They probably mad at me. That's why they're not even reaching out to me. Maybe I can't even go to them about my problems. They mad at me. And they not talking to me. I don't have nobody to go through. You know, feeling alone. I prayed, man. Like, I really was losing my mind in one period of time, and I prayed to God. And I told God, like, I need help. I'm losing myself. I need just something. When you choose your old life and let down the one that was actually new and showing up for you, I see what happens. I see when, when you feel like something's right for you, but internally you know it's wrong. I done showed you the signs already, and you still gonna keep on going. You're gonna learn exactly what you asking for, and I learned. I did. I'm gonna have to take exactly what I was giving out. Sometimes people ain't prepared for that, but the person you did something to wasn't prepared for how you was gonna treat them at the end either. That's why I said I need to be deeper in my word, because when the new stuff was pouring in, I knew exactly what time it was back then. But I still wanted my old life. I still wanted those old things to follow with me. But since I listened and have been listening, I feel like I'm finally at the place where I should have been a long time ago. And now I feel like I have the mindset, and I'm growing the heart to continue on, because change is very hard. And it's hard because right now my uncertainty is like, I don't want to look a certain way to people. I don't want people to feel like, girl, you being a little hard on me. Why you acting like that towards me? We used to kick it. And it's just like, I know that's cool, and if I have some time we can kick it like that, but I'm focused on this, and I want to start doing things like this. And if that just don't match up anymore, I don't want that person to feel like, oh, you feel like you better. No, I just want different. That's cool if you don't want that, but I'm no longer there. Not saying that you can't get there, because I'm no longer there. I have nothing to do with you. But if you want to come with me, then come on. But if you don't want to, and you want to go, and some people that want to go there or stay there with you, then that's fine. But I no longer want to do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what is hard about that is just hearing that lashback. But that's why you got to grow the heart to know, like, I understand that they won't understand, and that's cool. I still got love for them, but I also have love for myself. There's also places that I see myself going, and right there is showing me that you don't want to go with me, and I can't let that stop me from continuing to go forward. I just feel like you need to recognize the direction God is pulling you towards, because you already know truly which way to go. You knew when you told yourself, no, I don't feel like doing that. You knew exactly which way he told you to go when he told you to stop doing that. Stop working there. Stop talking to that person. Don't go straight to your house. Stop You know what I'm saying? He already told you. And to get deeper into it, pray. If you don't know how to pray, just take a moment and talk to him seriously. Pretend like he's in the car, in the house, in the bathroom, wherever you are. Pretend he's right there, even though he's right there anyways. Pick a verse and just pray off of that. You gave me Psalms 31. I don't know what this chapter's about, but one thing I know is I thank you for this chapter. Read the verse if you need to and just continue on. Make goals for yourself based off of that verse. Make goals for yourself based off of that prayer. What did you even say to him? What did he bring out of your spirit and out of your mouth? You know? Just say like, God, where do you need me to change? I know you want me to change this. I know you want me to change, like, you know? So get into it and really listen to those nudges. Listen to your intuition so you can understand exactly where you need to go, where you need to be at. Viewer question of the week is, what steps can we take to embrace change more? So I feel like the steps into really like getting used to change, it's like, for example, if you have a donut on your car, you know, some people, they like to drive on the freeway with their donut. You guys live life on the edge, I see. But some people are just like, okay, since I have this donut on my car, I'm going to have to take the streets. And, you know, that means I got to get up an hour earlier for work, and I got to make sure I'm there on time, blah, 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 whatever. You know, you just got to map out your new and current situation so it can be comfortable for you. You have to wrap your mind around this change and adjust it into your life, because if you ignore it and still get up at the same time, you're going to be late, which eventually is going to get you terminated, which then will get you with a donut on your car, no job, and you got a penny pinch while also you're out here trying to find a job. You know, you don't want to put inconvenience in your life over a small change. And even if it is a big change, you still have to take the steps to eventually wrap your mind around it and put it into your life. You know, nobody's saying that life is going to be perfect and you gotta be okay in the midst of all this change and know how to stand on your 2 feet. No, just like a baby, you know, even though they have legs, you know, that doesn't mean they know how to use them. They gotta crawl before they start walking, you know? Like, eventually they got to get used to them, and then once they get used to them, then that's when they start waddling while they walk, and eventually that waddle turns into a full-blown standing up straight, walking, doing what they do. Everything takes time. Even if you have to talk to somebody about it, talk to somebody about that. Tell them how you feel about it. Tell them that how it feels weird, how it doesn't feel the same, how you miss the old things you used to do or whatever. But be around people that's going to tell you like, okay, yes, I understand that, but now you're here. So how are you going to live here? And some people may think like, I don't know how to live here. I don't want to live here. I don't want to change. But then that's when you're just going to have to deal then with your reality. But I told you guys last week about the lady going to school with the breathing machine, okay? I'm not gonna say her story, but let's give an example of somebody else in her shoes. You know, what if she listened to everybody? What if she listened to everybody and say, like, why are you wasting your time going back to school when you old as you are? You wasting your time, you embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself by going out there and trying to relive a dream that you ain't do when you had the shot to do it. Why you wanna do that to yourself? Why you wanna do that? You trying to change what in your life? Not knowing that lady, I just got a video from my mom today. That lady could have been in a situation where she felt like she couldn't do nothing without a man, without her father, without some type of something. Something was always blocking her. Something was telling her no. Something was, the kids need you. You don't need no school. You don't need no job. You don't need no car. Money. Girl, you tripping. Go sit down and take care of them kids and cook me some food. Talking about school this. Like, I don't know. But something in her that been in her for a very long time said, no, you gonna get up and you gonna go to school. And even though those naysayers may have been right, people may have laughed at her. People may have, what her old ass doing in here? People may have tried her. And you know who that was? The devil the whole time. All them spirits. What her old butt doing here? Girl, you can't go nowhere without that thing. Girl, ain't you about 90? Girl, what? Didn't you learn this 100 years ago? What you doing back here? People probably coming for her neck. But guess who walked down that stage, though, huh? Guess who got it, though, huh? Breathing machine and all, 90 and all, whatever. She still did, excuse me, I'm talking about the lady, she was probably 80 something. But still, my girl still did that. You feel what I'm saying? She could have let that fear stay inside of her, but something was telling her, no, you gonna go get that and you gonna show everybody what I told you got the power to do. At your age, you're seeing yourself no matter what happened to you in your life. You still walked across this stage and got everything that was supposed to be given to you. And everybody that doubted you was sitting in the crowd like, she did it. Yes. Because she knows she could. She was told that she could. Something was put in her mind to let her know that she could do that. And she did it. And I bet everybody was in there talking about, cheese, I knew you could do it, girl. I knew you could do it. You was there at my house trying to do your homework. I was right there talking mess in the kitchen. Talking some in the kitchen. 100 years. Girl, it only took 2. Like, for real. So just know that you can do it. You can do it. And people are gonna say things, but you can do it. I'm telling you. Oh my God. I am silly, but I be so serious, y'all. Like, for real. And I hope I don't offend this lady. Like, I love you. Like, but for real. You are inspiring. And wherever you are, I hope you know that. Whew, wrap this up. I just want to quickly say too, if I offended anybody, I don't care if you are 10 or 99 or 100, whatever age you are, anything is possible. You know, and even if it did get a little crazy, or if I ever offend you, you ain't gotta listen to me. I'm learning every day, and I just want you to know that, you know, whatever pushes you or whatever motivates you to get something done, do it. Even if you don't like what I'm saying, still do it for you. You know, But I definitely wanted to put that out there. Like, I don't want to discourage anybody. So I just wanted to say that. And I also want to say thank you to my viewers, you know, for the love and support. Thank you for always coming back and watching your girl. Tap in on me on YouTube and on Spotify. Also, shout out to that sponsor. Shout out to my business, Define Cosmetics. Shout out to Define Cosmetics. Tap into my self-care line, y'all, and let's get this started. Follow your girl, tap on the links, and answer the question of the week. But also, shout out your business. Shout out your business, okay? And we are going to get you on the show, get you shouted out, so we can spread the wealth in the community. Yes. Okay, and while you guys are also at it, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Hit that notification bell and get notified when I post. I am pretty much about to go, you guys. This was a fun conversation, and I really hope that you guys have a great week. See you next week. It's on with y'all.